Norbert Mao, the current Minister of Justice and the MP-elect of Peche, has come out to confirm that he's going to do some consultation with General Kaguta Museveni so that he can be the Speaker of the Ugandan Parliament. In fact, is the tape when he was speaking.
I was declared as a Member of Parliament elect. I started getting calls from many of the elected members of Parliament urging me to contest for the position of Speaker. So what does an intelligent person do? The NRM has the majority of members of Parliament. And it is only natural that the majority party should provide the Speaker. So right now, I'm carrying out consultation about that prospect. We will also meet the leadership of the NRM, including the President, and talk openly about it. After all, everything we are doing is for Uganda. You are a Speaker of Uganda. You are not a Speaker for yourself. Fortunately, where I come from, we also gave the President serious votes, more than 80% on average. So this time, we have a claim on the political cake. There is the national cake, which means roads, bridges, electricity, schools, health facilities. That is they call it the national cake. Whether you have voted for the winner or not, you are entitled to it. But the political cake is based on how many votes you brought. And this time, in where I come from, the vote jumped from 44% to over 80%. And I was instrumental in shaping that narrative. I have always been the one scattering the president's votes in that area. This time I was the one gathering it. So I'm sure he will also take that into consideration as we carry out our consultations. And so the decision of who will be Speaker is highly political, and there are many interested parties. So a day is a very long time in politics. We are still in today is 3rd of February. The elections are in May. So nobody should take anything for granted. Even me, I cannot take anything for granted. The Baganda say, "Chotanalia toche sunga." So I cannot claim this or that, but I can only claim that we must put the national interest first. But also we must not tear apart the country because of a position.
That is Norbert Mao. First of all, if you ask me, Norbert Mao can be a good speaker than ANITA Among. It's a matter of fact. But questions must be asked. Can the position of the speaker be ceded to a non-NRM member? Can Norbert Mao be the Speaker of Parliament with the support of NRM? Is Norbert Mao driving a narrative so that he can be appointed in cabinet again? Is the purpose of this video. But most importantly, the study materials we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagre. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. First of all, Norbert Mao coming out to say that he's going to consult with the president. It is a genius move on his side, because in the history tells us that every person who has come out as a contender to want the speakership has been appointed in the cabinet. They were both or both is. Even when the deputy speaker, before he became the best speech, the deputy speaker was given the chief whip of the NRM and a Jewish position. But also, Norbert Mao to come out and say that because the northern vote bloc voted General Norbert Kaguta Museveni, and he painted a picture that it is him who has brought that support. It is wrong, because the northern, I think ever since 2021, used to vote for General Kaguta Museveni. In fact, even when Norbert Mao stood as president in 2021, the northern region, never voted for Norbert Mao. It voted for General Kaguta Museveni and Bobi Wine as the second. So you cannot base on that to become the speaker. But of course, if you ask me, is a better representation that Speaker ANITA AMONG. Trust me, I may not like NRM government, but since it has the majority, it has higher chances of producing the speaker. Secondly, in my opinion, I don't think that the NRM can cede such a juicy position to a non-NRM member. It is impossible. And keep this video for future reference. It's like the vice president. I cannot see General Kaguta Museveni giving the vice president to another party. It is totally impossible. But although I think Norbert Mao may feature in the NRM cabinet, remember they have a memoranda which they signed before, I think it was 2024, where Norbert Mao was to become minister. So Norbert Mao wants to be part of cabinet. All that, in fact, is a genius move on Norbert Mao's side. Is going to be appointed, but I don't think in the hearts of hearts that he can become speaker. Because if Norbert Mao comes out to speak about the votes he brought, what about if you speak about generally about the votes? Even the Eastern voted for General Kaguta Museveni. ANITA AMONG may come out with the audacity to say that he wants to be tendered as the Speaker of Parliament. Okay? But nevertheless, Norbert Mao is a better option, although he cannot make it the speakership. In fact, let me also add you the video of how all started when Norbert Mao was declaring. Here is the tape.
The idea of the speakership race has been in the media. Somebody picked a photo that was based on a screenshot of an NTV news item that Mao has won the Laro Peche. And then also another one from NBS. And then they said Mao has declared his intention to contest for the position of speaker. Then they said this will be the hottest race. I can assure you I'm not the source of that kind of thing.
So first of all, it all started when Norbert Mao when we saw news on different media coming out to say that Norbert Mao is going to contest. So he's coming out to say that that was not the source. First of all, the way politics is being played, I keep on telling people that Norbert Mao, if you are looking for stupid people, you cannot look for Norbert Mao. But I would also want to know the mastery of General Kaguta Museveni using smart people like Norbert Mao sometimes to do ugly things and unconstitutional things. If you've been my ardent follower on this media, I've always called out the hypocrisy of Norbert Mao. But also, Norbert Mao is a smart man. For any person who would want that position, you first tell the media to test the waters. I've been in different projects where you give the media some analysis so that they can test the waters. And I think that is the narrative that was used by Norbert Mao to test the waters. If the waters seem receptive, then you go on to start influence peddling, but also build structures for the position. Let's continue with Norbert Mao.
I've never been afraid to announce any position I'm interested in. But there's a lot of goodwill whenever my name is mentioned in relation to that position of speaker. I feel it when I move on the streets. And the Democratic Party cannot ignore that goodwill, and neither can I ignore that goodwill. Because when people meet you and they say, Osanide, and these are people who have previously been actually attacking me. I'm meeting people from groups that have been very hostile to me, and they are all of a sudden saying, we need to talk, we need to talk. I think there are a number of reasons.
So first of all, you clearly see how genius Norbert Mao is. If a politician tells you that people have asked me, it's not true that people have asked them. In fact, if you task Norbert Mao to bring out members of parliament who have told him or Sunday, you may not find, but he's a smart man. We'll go to General Kaguta himself and tell him I want to be the speaker. Of course, it won't be given, but it will be given another position. It can be given Minister of Energy, Minister of anything. And trust me, these are shenanigans that are going to keep Norbert Mao within cabinet. It is the truth. Okay? Let's continue with Norbert Mao.
You do remember that despite Ugandans being stubborn, but they also can recognize certain qualities when they choose it. When the late Oulanyah died, I remember Andrew Mwenda said, somebody should resign their parliamentary seat so that Mao can go to parliament in a by-election. Now, there is a hunger in the country for a more accountable parliament. Now, whether I can fulfill that hunger is another matter. But that nyonta is there. There is that thirst. I think citizens want a people's house. People remember the unfinished term of the late Jacob Oulanyah, who by accident happened to have been my very close friend, of course. So somehow I'm the nearest to him. I'm the one.
So are you seeing how Norbert Mao is concocting an arrow to take him to have bigger position? First of all, Jacob Oulanyah, for him to become the speaker, he had to resign from, he first became UPC, I think. He ran away from UPC and became NRM. If Norbert Mao wanted to become speaker, he would have run on NRM ticket, he would be speaker, or even a more bigger position. I don't see NRM ceding that position to another party. Secondly, I keep telling people that Norbert Mao is a better option for ANITA AMONG. I'm one of the people who wanted to fill the House leadership under Jacob Oulanyah. He was a sober man, a good debater. There are some people within NRM, although they are supporting the wrong thing, but there are some attributes they have. So for Norbert Mao is trying to also portray himself as the nearby substitute or a replica of Oulanyah. Remember Oulanyah, he was not only the speaker, he was the vice chairperson, Northern Region. So he had a big position within the party. Remember, even the Speaker of Parliament right now is that the vice chairperson, women. There is no way Norbert Mao can make the speaker, although even being a better option. Although he's a wordsmith, he's a go-getter, it is the truth. Because if anyone who has ambition of becoming a president has ever stood, not once or twice, is not an ordinary politician, knows what he wants. So I don't see the NRM government ceding that position to the DP. But of course, I see a genius Norbert Mao being appointed in the cabinet after fighting for that position. Of course, that's my opinion. Thank you very much for listening. If this is your first time on this channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I will see you on another one. Peace.